Alright, so I'm gonna make a cube. So the first step, you want to create a new part, and then you're gonna click on the sketch tab and select your plane, and you're gonna want to draw one of the sides, and you're gonna want to dimension it out to the right size. And so you're gonna click on the smart dimension, click on the edge you want to dimension, click somewhere else, and then I want to do a 1-inch cube. Alright, and then now I've dimensioned one side. I'm going to go back to the feature. I want to extrude the base. And then this number right here is how deep it extends. And so I want to extend it 1 inch, and I just want to go blind, and I want to go off of the sketch plane that I started on. And then you have a 1-inch cube. Then you can type in cube, save it as that. I already have one, already made this. Alright, now let's make a cube. If you want to keep going, you can click sketch, you can click on a face, and so now I can draw a hole or something, and I draw on that face. And if I want to view that face head on, hold control, tap the number 8, and it'll reference to that face and give you a nice view. And I want to dimension that hole. Let's make it a 1/4 inch hole, so 0.25. You can also do math. Whoops. You can do 1 divided by 4, and then it'll automatically solve it for you. Now there's a few ways you could dimension this to the center of this cube. So the first way is click the center of the cube, the center point, and an edge. And if you want to put it in the very middle, you go 0.5 and 0.5 that way. Now it's in the very middle. And you can do extruded cut under the features tab. And then there's a whole bunch of options. So blind, you set the distance you want it to extrude. And so it is default to 1, so it'll go all the way through. What I'd prefer to do is through all. And through all just goes to the next side. You could do up to next, and up to next will stop there. So if you have more material over here, it'll stop at that point. We're just going to go through all. And then now you have a hole right in the dead center. Now, if I wanted to dimension the hole a different way, I would do it on a different face. So this one. Create my hole. 1/4 inch hole. Now, I'm going to do a line. I want it to be a construction line, which means that it's not a physical entity on the sketch. It's just so that way I know where things are. You'll see it's a dotted line, which means it's not really there. So it's like an imaginary line. I'm going to create 2 of them. Now, if you start, let's see. If you start your line by hovering over that edge, it gets orange and it's dotted. That means that you're going to start your line, and the little symbol down to the bottom right means that it's going to be coincident with that edge. And if you click right here in the middle where that square is, it's going to be the midpoint. And then I want it to be a vertical line with the midpoint, and this is a construction line. And then now, if you wanted to center this hole, you'd highlight this center dot, click on the midpoint of one of those lines, hit coincident, and it's centered in the middle of the block. Now you want to stay in the sketch and do a cut and through all, and now you have 2 holes through a block.